Hello, beautiful. How are you? And how are you taking care of yourself today? I am Heidi Esther, author, speaker, and someone who is ready to walk with you to help you liberate yourself from the bonds of people pleasing and trying to be everything for everybody else and carving space to move forward to find more joy and purpose and love in your life. How are you doing today? It's kind of a weird day for me. I am home with my teenagers. They are both officially done with school and also been hearing a lot in the news about the school shooting in Texas. And I wrote a little message for you that you will see later today about, I don't know, kind of about my feelings about it. So I would love to know how you are and how you are taking care of yourself today. Please let me know if you are here. And make sure that you give StreamYard the permissions to see your name because someone totally said, yep, I'm a people pleaser. There it is. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I was kind of just brought up to make sure that everyone was taken care of. And that Raider was really, really good at working with like whatever people needed. And just like I never turned it around on myself and said like, oh, what do I need? That didn't even like occur to me as a possibility. So if you are in the My Joyfully Ever After Facebook group, I may or may not be able to see your comments. So I might look over here just to see if anyone has any comments going on in that other feed. So today, what are we talking about today? We're talking about meltdowns, not toddler meltdowns, like real, honest adult meltdowns. I feel like there's probably some similarities between the toddler meltdowns and the adult meltdowns, but that's for another day. And also how to deal with overwhelm. There's so much going on and there's so much that is asked of us, right? And how full can we make our plates, right? To try to take care of everything and make things right and make things more just and equitable and take care of our families. The list goes on and on. So I'm gonna share a story, start with a story, and then we are gonna get into the steps that I use when I hit meltdown mode. Meltdown mode is kind of like overwhelm, except for there's one other step that I use to take care of myself during those kind of meltdowny times. And yeah, so we're gonna get started. All right, I am gonna say, oh, where is the story? There we go. The story, overwhelmed at work. Yes, I got some notes, and it's covering the screen. Okay. This takes place about 5 years ago, ish. Oh my gosh, I love my job. I know it's kind of like a small nonprofit, and I've been in small nonprofits for like ever. I think it's been like 17 years now or something crazy. But we are like a team. We're like a tight knit group. And yeah, there's no opportunity for advancement, but we're making a difference in our small little corner of the world. And something that I love more than helping our small little corner of the world is helping my coworkers love their small little corner of the world. And you know something else I love? The flexibility. So today I stayed home and I did some writing because it's really nice to have that flexibility to stay home and do creative work and write. And then guess what happens? I was like more productive than like I've been in like forever. So I came into work early to kind of like surprise other people. But because I want to like check in with people and see how they're doing. Something weird. I walked into my little office. It's like a little 10 by 10 foot office that a coworker and I share, one of my really tight-knit coworkers, and it was quiet. And the door to my boss's office was shut. I was like, huh, all right. Well, I guess I could get more work done now that nobody's here. Maybe they're taking like a late lunch or something. So I put my bag down. I sit down at my desk and I start typing. Well, Heidi. Was that my name? Did I just hear my name? Or am I pretending that I'm hearing my name because I really want to chat with somebody? Nonetheless, I open up my email and I start typing an email to a donor, a gratitude email. I love gratitude, as you probably know. Well, how do you text me about work when I'm not Okay. My hands freeze on the keyboard. That is definitely my name. And that is definitely not someone who is looking to chat with me. That sounds like someone is complaining about me, like behind my back. Oh my God, did I just hear my name again? My heart is in my throat. I get up from my desk, but like with a stealthy cat mode, not like in a, Hulk mood. I don't know what to do. My heart is racing. I pace back and forth. I know I don't have a lot of room here, but I'm pacing anywhere like a stealthy cat. Oh, God, my face is so hot. I thought we were a team. I didn't know people talked about each other behind their backs. Oh my gosh. I hear my name again. All right. I feel like there are 3 doors in front of me. One is I leave. They didn't even know that I came back from lunch. And it was early. So therefore, I could just kind of like sneak out and like no one would know that I was even here. Sounds like a really easy way. Oh, or door number 2 is I could wait until my coworker gets out of that room and I can glare at her, letting her know that like I know that she knows that that was not cool. And then she knows that I heard everything she said. That kind of like seems oddly satisfying. Like oddly satisfying in the middle school way. And then there's that third door. Oh God, that third door. I could go into my boss's office where they're talking about me. Oh, just thinking about that makes me so nervous. It makes me lightheaded. All right, Heidi, what do I got to do? What do I got to do to calm down? Okay. So I'm going to hold my hands. Okay. Like I'm my own best friend. I'm going to like hold my hands. It's going to be okay. Kind of like, my mom holding my hand when I'm scared. Okay. What else can I do? It's great that I'm my own best friend, but it's like, like only one of me still. So, all right. So I'm going to put my hands on my desk. It feels cold and it's like made of wood. So that wood used to be a tree and the tree used to be in the ground and it used to have roots. It used to go way down and like, okay, it used to be a very sturdy tree somewhere. I don't know where. Okay. Oh my God, I heard my name again. How many things are they talking about me in there? Okay, what else can I do? Okay, I can breathe. So I'm going to do cleansing breath. So I'm going to like move my hands up and breathe in, push my hands out to breathe the bad out. And then I'm going to breathe in and like put my hands all the way up over my head. And then I'm going to make a protective circle around me and breathe out. Okay. All right, Heidi. All right. Okay, so what am I going to do? I got the 3 doors. I got the leave door, the glare at my coworker door, and the go into my boss's office door. What should I do? Okay. I'm a brave person. I am kind, direct, and honest. Okay, so that we all know what the right answer of this situation is. Okay. I am going to knock on my boss's door. Okay. All right. That is the end of my story. I would love to know what you thought, or if you can kind of relate to that in terms of being in a situation where you get completely overwhelmed, kind of like a tsunami by your feelings. Like in my story, I was really angry and I felt very like betrayed. A lot of times there's all these kinds of different triggers that can trigger things up. Like I was probably embarrassed that there were some things that I wasn't doing perfectly at work. Um, so Stephanie Treasure, hello, and I hope you're doing well today. She's checking in from Facebook. So the first part in really working through meltdowns and overwhelm. So I think the meltdown care is kind of like when you have that overwhelming emotion and you can't really see anything else. You see red or you see embarrassment and you want to go like hide in, the woods without plumbing or electricity forever. And so I call this meltdown care, like baby bird love. Like treat yourself as if you're a little baby bird in the nest. You cannot fly yet. And you just need that like overwhelming protection and empathy. Like when we feel these big emotions, we get pulled into all sorts of different directions, and we're not using like all of our vast skills of like being able to respond. So we don't want to get pulled into reaction because that's when bad things happen. Like we end up yelling at people when we don't want to, or like scaring our kids, or taking their screen time away forever, um, or saying things that we might regret later. So, um, let yourself feel the emotion, get yourself in a safe space to be able to take care of yourself. Remind yourself that you are your own best friend and you're doing the best. Just kind of like ride that wave and let it feel how it's going to feel. I mean, my face got really hot. I got really angry. I think I got angry and embarrassed. My face was hot. My pulse was going. I got like lightheaded at one point. Because it was just like such kind of like a slap to the face. So remind yourself, that you are your own best friend. Hold your hand if you need to. Just take care of yourself as if you're a baby bird and you got this whole new world around you that got like kind of smacked you in the face, and you just got to ride that emotion and take care of yourself in that moment. I recently had like a meltdown, and I like cried a lot, and I had no idea like why. I just let myself cry. And after a while I was able to get perspective on what was going on, but only after that time. I didn't sit there and judge myself for why am I crying, or why am I so weepy today, or why do I feel so weird today. I kind of like shut all of that self-talk off, and I just took care of myself like a baby bird. So there you go. All right. Step 2, grounding practices. So I did a bunch of these when I was at my workplace. I felt the desk because I knew the desk was made of wood and it was connected to the earth, which is very solid. So I remember putting my hands on that desk. I remember my hands were very sweaty and they made kind of like, these hand outlines. So grounding practices are very helpful, and they could be somewhat tied to what your sign is. So whether or not you're an earth, air, water, or fire. I know that as a fire sun sign, I use a lot of incense here to kind of ground back into like feeling more like myself. And so once you kind of ride that first wave, think about all the grounding practices. People who sign up for the Peeling Your Onion are going to get a bonus workbook that goes through all of the steps of um, these different steps to overwhelm and meltdown care. So you can ground through smelling things. So, like, go outside, smell your favorite flower, smell your favorite perfume. Um, you can just kind of like go outside and close your eyes and just smell. Um, that also is really good. Also, just being able to like get somewhere where you can see the sky. Maybe if you're like an air element kind of person, you can see the sky, and that also helps. Another grounding practice is breathing. So I did some cleansing breaths. So breathing is always good. It kind of like helps you regulate like the flow, and that's really good. As someone who has water as my moon sign, I really really love swinging on the swings. So it has an ebb and flow to it. So breathing has an ebb and flow. Swinging on the swings like in a hammock, or even on a porch swing, would have that ebb and flow. So these are all like different kinds of grounding practices to just kind of get you back into flow and into sync with your miraculous self. Also, when another good grounding practice to get back in your body is like, maybe you are so tired and so spent that you just can't, you just kind of feel like frayed, and it's okay to rest. It's okay to take a nap. It's okay to go to bed early. It's okay to just kind of like switch off everything and like, tune out and do a meditation over lunch. So take, honor that need for just kind of like a rest and a reset. And that will help you more grounded to understanding who you are, and you'll be able to better really experience other grounding practices, like going for a walk, looking at the sky, stuff like that. All right. So those are the grounding practices. And so one thing I do want to say is this next one is a big one, and I'm not going to go into too much detail with this, but sometimes when we hit overwhelm, it's just because we're too freaking busy with everything. And so it's hard to, like, we feel like we're just holding all these plates up and we're juggling around and around, and we don't want to drop anything. We want to take care of everything. However, we're only one person, right? And so by having the meltdown care and the grounding practices, we get back to more of our shininess. But what we really need to do is develop a system by which we can have more long-term space for kind of like overwhelm buffer. And this is a 7-step practice that I use to be able to kind of like look at my life through a lens of like, what can I use to is best for me. Because when I'm at my best, I'm at my best for other people too. And so you can't be everything for everyone. My son has a little thing on his desk that says, "You can't please everyone. You're not a taco." So just think about that. You're not a taco. You're a person. So can't, you just can't do it. You can't have all those different toppings out all the time with all the chopping and all the fresh everything. It's just crazy. I know taco night is so intense. What is up with that? Ugh. Okay. So in the 7 steps to quitting forward, the first is kind of like figuring out what you really want to be doing right now. What are your top 3 roles and goals? Like right now I have like my business, and then my family. Those are probably like my family prize first, and then my business, and then my friends. Like those are my top 3 roles and goals. And then things that aren't a part of that triad, it takes me a much longer time to accomplish it because those are my priorities. And so I filter out everything like that doesn't fall into those categories. And so after that, question, I like to call this question the premise. Becca Syme, who is an awesome author coach. She's written a lot of books called Dear Writer, You Need to Quit. And she uses this acronym QTP. So question the premise. Do you have to make a homemade meal every night to be, if you pick the role as like, being a stay-at-home parent or a working parent, do you have to have all of your vegetables? You have to go to like 4 different stores to find the freshest vegetables to put on your table. Do you have to do that? And so it's just like learning to question everything. And one of the things I would say for during my story that I really learned from doing this is I was like, do I have to be, super appreciate, do I have to show up and be a glary coworker? That was obviously the easiest and most satisfying choice out of all the three choices in my story. Um, and to be a and also to fit in, because it was kind of an environment where people would sometimes talk about other people behind their backs. And do I have to do that? Do I have to, um and then do I have to react, right? Do I have to react, or can I take some space here? So there was a good 2-3 minutes where I knew that I probably had to go in my boss's office. And I tell you, their eyes were like as big as saucers when I opened that door, and I said that I wanted to have a conversation about how I can best improve the work environment and what changes I need to make. And we talked for like a half hour and came up with a game plan. And my boss later said, "Thank you for being an adult." So, um, so it only that taking the scary step helped me at work. It didn't necessarily help my relationship with my coworker at the time, but it definitely helped me in my relationship with my boss. But it also helped me with something else, which I'll get to in a minute. So yes, question the premise of everything you're doing. Say, do I have to do all these things to feel good about myself? Do I have to? Do I have to do this? Do I have to iron all of my pants for them to look, crisp and clean? Do I, or can I go get them dry cleaned? It's like questioning everything. Like, do I have to like lately I go to bed a lot earlier than my teenagers, and I'm like, do I have to stay up late to be a good mom? No, I need to honor my need to go to bed on time and take care of my like natural wind down, read, connect with wife, and then go to sleep time. And I have other times during the day that I can connect and be a present parent. So question everything. I think this is really good. I think like Don Miguel Ruiz's Fifth Agreement. If you've ever read the Fifth Agreement, after you've read the Four Agreements, he talks about listen but be skeptical. That's the Fifth Agreement, right? So question that premise. Be skeptical, and don't take anything for like you have to do this. Like, I didn't question, like, I had this life plan that I had to, like, have this perfect house and this picket fence in this suburban neighborhood and these 2 kids who were, like, perfectly well behaved. Do I have to do that to be happy? And so, I mean, it took me a few years to unravel myself from from that situation after I had questioned that premise. And so your whole life can kind of like have evolution, a revolution and an evolution, just by asking yourself this one question. Just question the premise of what you're doing. Like, do I have to ride my car to work, or could I ride my bike? So I recently started riding my bike. I'm like, oh, my kids bike to school. Why can't I bike? I'm the person who loves biking in this household. I'm like, why am I not biking places? So, all right. So after questioning the premise, this is what I like. I really like this one because it kind of reminds me of Santa. I call it cross off. It's like the opposite of Santa. Cross off the nice list. Things that are nice to do, but that are not part of your main goals. Like, I used to go and like pick up trash a lot at different parks, but right now I'm focusing on people. I have such a deep passion for helping people find themselves, because life is too short to not be yourself and to be completely in love with yourself and living your most joyful, meaningful, fulfilling, juicy life. That's like my big goal. I help my family do this, and I love on my family, and I need connection in my life because that's how I was made. And so like picking up trash in the parks is so incredibly important, and I don't have time for that right now. So that was something that was on my nice list that I had to kind of move off my nice list for now. So I know and for other people, these, some of the actions that you move off of your list will be, critical on their list, but don't let, right? Questions for others. Don't let their like number one priority become your number one priority just because you love them. You can let that be their number one priority, and then it could still be your number 5 priority. It's totally fine. All right. Now, this is something that's really, really, really hard. That this next step, it's called help. Asking for help. So if there are things that you need help with, if you need help with the housework, you can get your kids to help you, or get a house cleaner once a month or something. It's so important we are, like I like to say, we're made with a mouth, we're made with ears, we're made to communicate, which means we were made to ask for help. So there's a story here. So back in whenever they invented washing machines. Yeah, story about washing machines. So before washing machines were invented, women would gather in these main areas, like bring their laundry and all kind of like do their laundry together. So they would like wash it together and like, chat, and then go home and like hang it up on their laundry lines. So once it was invented, there was an ridiculously high increase in depression among women who were, at home, which was like all of them, doing the laundry. So they couldn't quite figure it out until they had pieced together what the technological revolution was happening and what happened to women. They went in the physical home. We isolated ourselves. We no longer had that support network of people who are willing to share in the work with us, people who are listening to empathize and understand with us. There are people out there who love you and are ready and willing, and it's their top priority to help support people and to support you. So it's really hard to ask for help, but we're all made to ask for help. And once other people see us asking for help, then they learn that it's okay to ask for help too, because we're all on this rock living together. I think I see, my teenage daughter is down here getting ready to maybe do some, excuse me. You're not going to play that, are you?
No, I'm taking care of it.
Okay, great. Okay. I just didn't want to hear any like Mario Kart or anything in the background. So anyway, so find help. Find help. It's so important. Help is so important. And help will change over time. And then over time, you'll have a different capacity to also help. But just embrace the possibility, the possibility that you're going to need help on every step of your journey, and it's completely accepted, and it's okay, and it lets others know that help is available to them as well. All right. So sometimes it's really hard to let things go off of our to-do list because we're like, we get these labels attached to us, and or we put on these labels, and they're like permanent. They're like brand, like they brand us. And so I have a whole exercise. It's called the Post-it note exercise. And the premise is holding on loosely. I'm a working mom, so I got lots of things to juggle. And I'm a working mom, and I'm a present parent. And so I do my best, and I hold on loosely. I don't use the word good and bad, because when we start labeling ourselves good and bad, then we start pulling on our judgy pants. And you know what happens when you start judging? Then you're just kind of like judging everything you do, and all the empathy for everything just kind of like goes out the window, and then you're just there judging yourself, and then you kind of go into more of a death spiral. So try to hold on loosely to kind of who you are. We're all evolving people, and we all are learning new things at rapid rates. I can't even tell you, in this entrepreneur land, I've seen people with about 10 million different ways to introduce themselves because we're all learning and growing and evolving, and we're all giving ourselves all these little labels. And once you find a label that fits you and it makes you feel expansive and ready to conquer the world, like that's a really great label. But if it's a label like, "Oh, I'm a bad mom," or like, "I can't ever get anything right," that is not a helpful label. That needs to be kind of like torn out and like burned and replaced with like, "I am a mom who's trying her best. I try my best and let the rest go. I am worthy of love and support as a stay-at-home mom, as a working mom, as a helper." So try loosening the label. Try saying, like, am I labeling myself a certain way? Am I putting myself in a box in a certain way? And so then I'm judging myself based on these requirements. Am I doing that? So that's questioning the premise, right? And so try holding on loosely to it. You can also do the and. I like the and exercise. You can say, huh, okay, I have this divorce label, like I'm a divorced person. And whenever I say that, I feel like, oh, but the divorce thing, right? That's like sometimes we have labels like being widowed, being divorced, um, being someone who is physically disabled in some way. Those are labels that are going to stay with us. And and so with being divorced, I would say like I'm divorced and happy because that brings the power back to you, right? Being divorced and happy. All right. So one of the last steps in the 7 steps to quitting forward, I know this is a lot, is aligning. So figuring out like what you like, make some columns. What do you need to take care of your personality every day? Like, do you have a highly sensitive personality? Do you have kind of like a I can do 180% of the normal person's kind of workload personality? Do you need a lot of alone time personality? Do you need a lot of connection time and social time personality? So, take what your personality needs. Like, I need a lot of meditation time. I like to be I have rocking chairs and a porch swing because that's something that my personality needs, is that kind of care. Um, and then you can write down, so what does your personality need? And then what kind of things do you need to take care of yourself in terms of rest and nutrition and exercise? So those are those 2 things. And then the third thing is, when do you feel like you do your best work? And so, align the time when you do your best work with what work is most important to you. So after you've already asked for help and shed some of those things that aren't on your top 3 list. So you take your time that is most productive for you and you put your most important things in that time. Like, I don't do my house cleaning in the morning because that's my creative time. That's my most creative. That's when I do all my writing. And so my mornings are very sacred to me. So there's no way. I try not to check any email, and I try not to do any housework in the morning. I connect with my family and then I go do writing. Okay. So that is kind of like how to after you do some quitting, then you can do some aligning for success. All right. So the 4th step, I don't know why I didn't. Oh, there it is. Step 4. So this is a hard one for a lot of people. Ask for help. Asking for help is one of the 7 steps of quitting forward. Asking for help means that we don't have all of our shit together or that we can't do everything. We can't. We can't please everyone. We're not a taco. We can't do everything. We are not God. So ask for help. There's a whole world of help out there waiting for you in so many different ways. I mean, sometimes even all the help that I need in the week is, I schedule a couple times to talk with my best friends. just so that I can talk over stuff and I know they're there for me. So help is really important. It's just kind of a part of life. It's kind of like get yourself back out of the house and down to the old watering hole to hang out with the other people who are washing their clothes also. Everyone has laundry to do. So why not do it together? All right. And so the fifth step, which I did say there's only 4 steps, but the fifth step is about bringing a resilient mindset into the game and doing some work on your boundaries so that you don't continually get overwhelmed with more and more responsibilities in your life. And you're like, how did that even happen? I don't even know. So before I go on, I did write down the 7 steps to quitting forward inventory, and I'm going to put this right here in the chat. So this is the 7 steps quitting forward inventory. It's at the bottom of that that one. It's HeidiEsther.com/I-quit. All right. So in part of peeling your onion, my course, it will help. Yeah, my experience, it will help you find a supportive community, understand more of your feelings, build a resilient mindset, do some work on boundaries and giving yourself permission, and walking forward to more self-worth. So the peeling your onion experience starts next Thursday, June 2nd. If you are watching this in 2022. But I would love, love, love to have you. And if you're not sure what peeling your onion is all about, I will put in the chat a link where you can kind of check out peeling your onion and what it's all about, for sure. So that would be the 5th step, is kind of working on that resilient mindset. So if I didn't have a resilient mindset of giving myself compassion in the moment and being patient with myself and my overwhelming emotions, I wouldn't have been able to knock on my boss's door and have that conversation. So building a resilient mindset is so key to being able to work with overwhelm and meltdowns whenever they happen. So all right. So I have one more announcement other than the peeling your onion experience starting June 2nd. And if it's after June 2nd, 2022, please go to HeidiEsther.com/peeling your onion and see when the course is next going to be offered for you. All right. Other announcements is my next Grow Your Joyful Life workshop. It's the basics of self-care for helpers and moms. So just kind of getting into the why self-care and how self-care. All right. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to put them below in the chat. And I'd love to know what you thought of the 4 steps to dealing with overwhelm and meltdowns. All right. And if you are on YouTube, I would love if you subscribed to Heidi Esther on YouTube, or I am on Apple Podcasts at Joyfully Ever After with Heidi Esther. Sending you love, light, and laughter. Until next time, I'm Heidi Esther.